Hi, my name is Kiara Lovano, and I am originally from Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, right across the border from El Paso. My family and I moved here after my parents' divorce. Moving to Tulsa was a really big change for myself, and I'm sure for my mom as well, but I think from my perspective, I didn't speak English. It was a very hard transition from the environment to the culture shock that I went through. I didn't like school. I couldn't play sports anymore because the language barrier. My mom wasn't really into pushing me to keep going and attend to school every day. I did everything I could think of to avoid going to school, to put myself in a situation where I wasn't comfortable. Over, I'm gonna say a couple years, I realized that I could work and I didn't have to go to school. So I started working and I met my husband, and he's the one that wanted me to go back to school. After I started high school, I realized that I kind of liked school because I understood what was going on. I had made friends. It was a completely different environment to when we first moved here. And my sophomore year into my junior year, I found out that I was pregnant. There was a program in Broken Arrow for teen parents, for expecting mothers, and I enrolled in the program, and I realized that that was the best choice if I wanted to continue education, because at this point it wasn't just for me, it was for the baby I was carrying. After I graduated high school, I think my biggest motivation was my son, because he was 2 and he was right there standing. And I wanted to go to college, and then reality hit hard, and I realized that I knew I was undocumented. I didn't really knew what it meant. That was the first time that I realized that I had no future here in the United States. Even if I worked and had a job, I wasn't really gonna be able to succeed and do anything.
In 2012, President Barack Obama created DACA, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. Kiara realized she qualifies for the program. After receiving her work permit, Kiara went to work for CAP Tulsa, who helped her pay for school.
So I told my husband I need to take advantage of it, or nothing good is gonna come out of it. And if I want to become someone one day, I need to be able to go back to school. And that's what I've been wanting to do since I finished high school. So I started the enrollment process, and I was working full-time, and I enrolled as a full-time student at the Community Care College. And within 2 years, I had my associate's degree. And as I was finishing up, I said, well, maybe I can go farther out. And I came to OSU.
Kiara wanted to further her education and get an MBA. She heard about the 4+1 program, which allows students to earn both a bachelor's and master's degree in 5 years.
Before DACA, I don't think a school was an option at all. After DACA, it is possible to do it. There's not as many help as I wish for, but the opportunity is there.
Kiara came and was interested in our MBA program for fall of 2022, and I was at first a little bit hesitant because I really stressed about recruiting for fall of 2021. And then when I met her and I learned that she was in the undergraduate program, and I heard her story, and I found out that she could be our first student to do our 4+1 program on the Tulsa campus, and that it would help her out immensely and all the things that she has fought through to continue her education. It was at that point I was really excited and wanted to make it work for her and create this opportunity for her. She's very resilient and trying to complete her education as much for her family as it is for her and for her legacy.
I am a first-generation college graduate, so I think it's important for me to be able to set standards high. And one of the main things is I want my kids to see them. If mom could do it, they can do it as well.